Hey guys, this is Mike, and this is part 3 of OMO development. So in the last video we've finished the grid here. Here's a 6x6, and it should all be automatic, calculating the tile size and the board offset to keep it centered on the screen. Let's check a 20x20 grid. Cool. Oh, that's like messing up my eyes, yo. For real. Let's change it back to whatever, 3x3. Keep it simple. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have these be clickable. So back in tile, we have light and dark images and a selected boolean. And if selected is true, that means that the tile is lit up. So back down here in the render method, what we're going to do is we're going to check if selected. Then we're going to draw this light, the light image. Otherwise, if it's not selected, we're going to be drawing the dark image. So just change this to dark. So when this starts up, selected is just false. So it's going to draw dark everywhere. There we go. So this is the dark color. And what I want to do is when I click on one of these tiles, I'm going to set selected to true, and that'll make it light up. So I'm going to make a method here called public void set selected boolean b, and this is just going to set selected to whatever I give it, true or false. So when I click on a tile, I'm going to set selected to true. Selected is going to be true, and it's going to draw the light image instead of the dark. So back in play state, I have update and handle input. So the first thing I'm going to do in update is handle input. Remember, I keep all of my input separate from update and render. So here we're going to do multi-touch. I can't really do multi-touch on desktop, so you're just going to have to take my word for it that it works, or you can test it out yourself. Obviously, you can go in here on your Android project, run as Android application, and test it out on your own phone. So first off, in handle input, we're going to need the mouse coordinates. So if we go back to the game state, here, every game state should have their own mouse coordinate, which is a vector 3. So now every game state has a reference to the game state manager, has their own camera, and they have their own mouse coordinates. Mouse vector 3. So I'm just going to set that in the constructor here. Mouse is equal to new vector 3, and that just creates a new vector 3 for mouse. So now playstate has that. We're going to use this vector 3 to grab the mouse position. So first of all, multi-touch. I have to think about multi-touch and how it's going to affect this game. I can't have it arbitrarily. I can't have players use whatever. If two people are playing this game, then it's going to be way too easy if I allow 20 fingers on the screen at one time, because they can just tap immediately whichever tiles. They could have okay, you remember these and I'll remember these or whatever. So I'm going to have a maximum limit of the number of fingers you can use. Private final int max fingers. I'm going to set that to 2. So, you have 2 hands. Just use your index fingers and just tap them, whatever, or your thumbs. So I'm going to set max fingers to 2, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through all of the pointers up to max fingers. For an I is 0, I is less than max fingers, I plus plus. So first off, let's go ahead and check if any of these pointers are actually pressed. So if gdx.input.isDown is touched, I think this is it. Let's see. Pointer, just change that to I. I think it's is touched as the mouse. Whether the screen is currently touched by the pointer when given an index. So I guess that's it. And this pointer, 0. 0 pointer means that's the first finger that's down, and if that finger is still down when you press another finger onto the screen, then that second finger is going to have a pointer index of 1, so 0 and 1. up to max fingers. So that's only 0 and 1. So I'm gonna check if this pointer is currently touching the screen, and I'm going to, if it is, I'm going to grab the coordinates that it's touching the screen at, and I'm going to put it into mouse. Mouse.x is equal to gdx.input.get x pointer. Always specify which pointer you're using, the first or the second finger. And mouse.y is gdx.input.get y with the pointer I. So now that's our mouse coordinates. But this is in screen coordinates, and you want to change it back into world coordinates. So you're going to use the camera for that, camera.unproject mouse, and that'll give you back game coordinates. Now I have to find out whether or not the mouse actually clicked something, or your finger actually tapped something. So I need to find out which row and which column the mouse clicked, if it clicked any of those at all. So row, column is simple, right? That's just mouse X divided by tile size, and that'll give me the column that I might have clicked on. And row, this one's a little bit different. It's mouse X divided by mouse Y divided by tile size, but the grid is offset with the Y with board offset, so I'm going to go over here and subtract that off. Hopefully that works. So that's the row and column, and I need to check so I don't go array out of bounds if row is greater than or equal to 0 and row is less than tiles.length, and same thing with column. Column is greater than or equal to 0 and column is less than tiles 0.length. Then I know I clicked on one of the tiles, namely tiles row column, and I'm going to set selected for that to true, and that means it's going to light up. Hopefully this works. Let's go ahead and test this out. So they're all dark right now, so if I click one it should light up. Sweet. And if I just go, wait, I need to make sure that it's very precise, pixel precision. Yeah, that looks right. Let me try that again. And I'm gonna go off screen here all the way at the, okay, and let's try down here. Okay, that obviously didn't work because I can click them from down here. That is not good. So the row is messed up. Mouse Y minus board offset. That's right. Right? I don't understand why that... If I go down here, that works fine. That works fine. That works fine. But if I click down here, it lights up. That is... Let me make this larger, 6 by 6. See if it's something to do with offset from down here. So if I go all the way down here, nothing happens. If I drag it up carefully... Okay, so it looks like it starts to light up. It seems like there's an extra tile down here where it lights up when I click, which shouldn't be happening. Extra tile. Row. Mouse. I can just do it the hacky way and just get rid of that offset by doing plus tile size over here. I think that should work. And you can't see that. I'll move it down there. This is just a hacky way. Instead of trying to actually figure it out. Oh, nope, it's minus tile size. Instead of trying to figure it out why it's happening like this, I'm just gonna... and that works. What about up here? Nope, now it's messed up from up here. So that doesn't do anything at all. Wow. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's see. Instead of using the row and column over here, why don't I check if the mouse is within the board limits? Right? Can I do that in here? So if mouse.x, if mouse.y is greater than board offset, and mouse.y is less than board offset plus board height, then do all this stuff. I don't have a board height, so let's just add that. Board offset, private int board height. The board height is just tile size times tiles.length. So I can actually just replace this at board offset. This is board height. Okay, now let's try it. Hopefully, okay, and down here. Sweet. Cool. Uh-oh. I got an array index out of bounds. That's weird. What did I click? Okay, that's weird. So somehow the mouse goes negative for some reason, even though it's off screen. libgdx is still registering it. So I'm gonna do the same thing with mouse x here. Mouse x is greater than or equal to 0, and mouse x is less than greater than 0 and less than omo.width. And so this is just going to do this for the board. Let's see. No more errors. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So now we can actually select these tiles and they'll light up. Let's see. One thing I wanted to do is have some sort of animation of all of these things popping up. So instead of just what am I doing over here? Instead of just when I open it and then they all just are there, I want them to like pop into view. First off, you don't have to do this. I'm just going to change the position that it appears. This isn't for you, this is for me, so that it appears within the recording area. Let me just try that. X90, and this should be 170. No, what am I doing? Other way. This is 170, this is 90. Cool. 220. Whatever, that's close enough. So, I want this, when you start it up, I want these tiles to just pop into view instead of just them being right there. So what I mean by that is, okay, so here is your game. Let's see. So the squares, they start out like this. They start out with 0 width and 0 height. They're invisible. But as time progresses, they're going to get larger and larger and larger until they reach the maximum size. So they just pop into view, pretty much. So what I'm going to need, obviously, is I'm going to need a timer. Find out how much time has passed, dt. Okay, I can't draw with the mouse, I have to use the pen. So that's going to, I need a timer for that. And as time goes on, and I'm going to be changing the drawing width and height. It's going to increase just by some amount, depending on the time. So let's try that. Let's go into tile over here. First off, we're going to need, what do you call it? A timer, float timer. Timer is going to start off at 0, and this float width and height, this is going to actually be the total width and total height now. Total width, private float, total height. And over here, I'm going to do this dot total width is equal to width divided by -8, and this dot total height is equal to height divided by 8. And the regular width and height is going to start out at 0. I don't even need to do this because they're already at 0. And over here, when I render, well, I don't need to change anything here. So if I run it now, they should just be invisible. Right, because they have a width and height of 0. Can't see them. So when I update them, I want the timer to go up, and I want the width and height to go plus something, depending on the time. Let's see. If I want the maximum time, private float max time is 0.5. I want them to pop into view in half a second. So I could just use a linear increase. So that means at time 0, they're all 0 width and height. You can't see it. And at time 0.5, they're at maximum. They're at total width and total height. So that's just going to be width is equal to timer divided by time, right? Or max time, I mean. Times the total. That should be right. Height is also the same. Timer divided by max time times total height. I think, let's check it. Oh wait, I didn't actually update the timers. So if I go back to the play state, I'm just going to copy this double for loop, put it in the update method, and I'm going to do tiles row column dot update dt. Okay, so time moves on. Let's check it. Okay, and they're not stop. They keep expanding. Okay, so obviously I need to stop it from expanding. If I only want it to expand if the width and height is less than total width and height is less than total height, then I could do all of this stuff. I think. If width is greater than total width, then I want to set width to total width. I don't want it to go past the total width and total height. Height is greater than total height. Height is equal to total height. Okay, let's check it now. Cool. So so they just pop into view like that. I can even set a timer, which is crazy. Let's see, if timer is less than 0, I can just set the width and height to 0. And I can do a public void set timer, float t. Timer is equal to t. So that I can actually delay some of them from popping up into view, which I'm going to do right now. I want it to like pop up sequentially. You know what I'm saying, right? So over here in the playstate constructor, I create the tiles row column. Tiles row column. I'm going to set the timer to something depending on where they are. So I want it. Let's have it be like the top. Oops. Let's have it be like the top left of the grid pops in first, and then this, and then this, and then this. So diagonally down like this. So, oops. The timer is going to be the top one first. Column. I'm trying to do this in my head. Row is row plus column, but it starts Y down, Y up. So I want it to start from the top though. So this is tiles dot length minus row plus column. This is times 0.1. Oh, I have no idea. Oh, can't see that. So set the timer to this. Let's just see what happens here. Okay, that didn't do anything. I meant negative this. because I want it to start beforehand. Okay, what was that? I have no idea. That looks cool, but I have no idea why it did that. Let's see, if timer, if, let's just do if width and height. Over here, I set the bounds. If width is less than 0, width is equal to 0. If height is less than 0, height is equal to 0. I'll just do that. And try it again. Awesome, but it's going down diagonally from the top right. I want it to go down from the top left, so obviously it has to be, the column is the opposite, I think. Column, so this is going to be I think I could do tile 0.length minus column here. Hold up, let me just test. Okay, that works, but for some reason it didn't do. Maybe I should do a minus here. Okay, it's still, maybe it's just minus column. Wait, I have no idea what I'm doing. Why is it going from, oh, there we go. So it's minus tiles.length, minus row, minus column, and all of that multiplied by 0.1. Or if I want it to make be faster, I could do 0.05. That looks cool, yo, for real. That looks freaking awesome. Oh man, okay, so they just pop in view like that, and you can click on them. I think that's gonna be it for this video for now. We got the clicking done, we got some cool intro animation. That just looks so cool. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be it for this video. In the next video, we're actually going to work on the actual game mechanics, which is, it's going to select random tiles to light up, and then you have to remember which tiles they were. So, yeah, it's going to be it for this one, and thanks for watching.